Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Cyberverse Warrior Class Hammerbyte. Now, technically, the official branding is Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures, yada yada. It's much of a mouthful, and I just really don't feel like giving Bumblebee all that much credit. So, can't change my mind on that. Anyway, Hammerbyte himself is an all-new character that appears in only one episode of the final season of the show. So, good on him for getting his own toy, because he seriously is in one episode and then he's gone again. Which makes me think they designed the toy first and then just had to shove him in there somewhere. Which kind of reminds me of that Bludgeon redeco from Robots in Disguise. Dude literally was like one episode. And then oddly enough, they didn't have Bludgeon in there, but alright. Enough digressing. So yeah, this guy, he's an Autobot, turns into like a flying mechanical shark monster thing. So pretty cool. And you know, him being a warrior class, normally I wouldn't pick up a warrior class because they're kind of usually awful. And I definitely wouldn't be reviewing one, but they really seem to have stepped up the quality, especially since introducing the deluxe class. It seems like any new mold warriors are a bit more impressive than they had been. They're much more in line with the Robots in Disguise warriors, which was, you know, like a rung below a standard deluxe, but not like a cheap kid's toy either. So before we get started, if you've seen my reviews before, you know how this goes. We're going to take a look at Hammerbyte's packaging, and we'll open it up, we'll see his instructions, we'll look at Hammerbyte in his beast and robot modes. Not really anything to compare him to, because he's a brand new character, which is always nice too, to get a new character that's never been done before. And then at the end of the video, I will give my final thoughts. So here you got this nice artwork of Hammerbyte in his shark mode. Here it shows off his special attack, which is called Rip Thrash, which seems to just be a shark mode head going down over the robot head and I guess tearing things apart. You got your mandatory Bumblebee picture right here, because you gotta have Bumblebee. Over here you have your big three Autobots. And then over here you have the renders. He takes 9 steps to transform, so almost twice as many as the Starscream from this wave, so good on him. And his function is Guardian of the Argon Sea, which neat little callback to, you know, old school Transformers fans. And yeah, it's really all there is to see. Packaging is not overly complex, but he's impressive looking. So let's go ahead and open him up now. All right, here's Hammerbyte's little instruction booklet. Open it up. It shows how to activate his Rip Thrash attack and then how to reset it. It's all spring loaded. And then right here, you just have the transformation from robot to hammerhead shark mode. Okay, here is the shark mode. And see, it's just various shades of blue and gray. And it's pretty interesting. Got a lot of surface detail. He's got this cool scale effect on his kind of rear side, and then more mechanical detailing on the tail itself. These ridges on his fins. He's got his little boosters, which are painted, so that's very nice. And then the head itself, you can see it's a nice blend of colors. You have his eyes there, and you have a working mouth. Opens and closes. And then he's got a big old Autobot symbol on this side. Now, there's not much in the way of posability here, aside from the moving mouth. Everything else is really solid. But overall, it's just a pretty decent looking shark mode. You get some robot cable on the underside, which is unfortunate, but they can't hide it better. Got his robot crown just kind of sticking up there. But overall, for a simple toy, I'd say this really kind of meets the mark and then some. I think it's just very good looking. All right, now to transform Hammerbyte, fairly simple. First, you're gonna open these panels up and they give you like kind of a little notch to your nail under right here. Because they do plug in pretty firmly. There we go. I broke it, guys. I broke it. Oh, guess I plugged it in too well. I'll just shake it loose. I'll cheat. All right, so you fold those panels back against the legs. These fists, if you haven't already accidentally untabbed them like me, you untab them, you bend this just kind of back like so. This little notch here will take that ridge, just push it all the way in, and lock in place. So then you swing the legs down and separate them. take this tail fin, just fold it all the way up inside that one leg. And then you bring the shoulders down. Now this one, don't pull too far down on it yet. Go ahead, rotate the forearms. I'm just gonna rotate these fins 180 so they're pointing upward. Give them a more dynamic look. And that's it. That's a robot mode. And overall, very cool looking. It's got this aquatic warrior vibe. I really like the trident-like crown there. He's got this like shark lower jaw for his chest design with an Autobot symbol in it. I love the fins on the forearm and how they point up. Diamond patterns on his knees and everything. He's just cool, very cool looking. And he does have the shark head, which is just kind of laying back. A little bit of a heavy backpack going on, but it's not too bad. Now, for that action feature, I think this is actually very cool. So, you take his shoulder and just kind of press down on it, activate this lever, and it basically gives him a shark-headed robot mode. Now, what's really interesting about this is you see that chest-mounted jaw comes up, right, to form the lower jaw. Well, his actual lower jaw is still there, but it naturally just tucks up way inside the upper jaw to effectively disappear. So he actually has two mandibles, which I find that kind of a really interesting touch, a really cool design cue. And you can have him looking like this. Now it's a little silly, but the engineering behind it I think is pretty interesting. And, you know, I guess in combat it would be very useful to be able to transform your head into a giant scary shark head and take a bite out of your opponents. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't come with any kind of weapons or, you know, separate accessories, which is maybe my one hit on this toy. You know, it's a very strong warrior class mold. Man, imagine if he had a trident. That would be awesome. Or like a trident gun or something like that. I think it's a real shame that they didn't include it. But then again, Cyberverse is kind of a budget toy line, so I mean, the warriors don't often come with separate weapons. So yeah, overall, I'm rather impressed with this toy. It's an all-new character. He really just does his own thing, right? He's not specifically emulating any of the other shark-based Transformers we've seen before. You know, I really like the unique head sculpt there with the trident crown going on. I love the chest design, the fins again. He's just a lot of fun. And, you know, despite being a simple toy, he looks like... He kind of reminds me of what used to be like the basic size class during like the Unicron trilogy, just upscaled a bit. Like I could see a version of him being a half-inch to an inch shorter, being released under that size class, and you know, not being seen as like a cheap junky toy. So overall, yeah, I'm happy with it. Not too much hollowness going on either. Maybe the inside of this one leg, but it's not that noticeable because it's on the inside. The rest of them is fairly solid across the board. He's definitely one of my favorite warriors. I have no issue just displaying him next to the deluxe toys and part of like a definitive Cyberverse shelf for collection. So yeah, I really like the design. I think it's a shame the character only appears in one episode of the entire cartoon. Yeah, one off and you never see him again. It's a shame. But I guess at the same time it's impressive that a character that only shows up one time actually gets his own toy. I mean, you got plenty of characters in Cyberverse that are in many episodes that do not have any figures made, so I guess can't complain too much. So if I were to pick a warrior toy to get from the new assortment, this would be it. You know, the other ones are like either retools of pretty garbage warrior class toys like the Bumblebee and the Megatron, or you do have the Starscream, who's a new mold that I just reviewed, in case you want to check that out. But that was not impressive. It was marginally better than the warrior class before it. So yeah, I think this guy takes the cake for the whole wave, and I'm happy I picked him up. So if you see him around at your Walmart or Target or whatever, while practicing social distancing, of course, then I think he's worth picking up. I think he's going to be one of the Cyberverse toys that you enjoy the most. course, that is only what I think. What really matters is what you all think of this. Can you see yourselves picking up Hammerbyte? Does he kind of stand out to you as being a little special from the rest, or do you just write him off as another cheap Cyberverse toy? Any all opinions are valid, and I can't wait to see them in the comments section. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to toss it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it or any of my other videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you always get a heads up when I post something new. And thank you for joining me for this look at a brand new and very cool character. And with all that said, I will see you next time.